Good evening, and welcome to the Doris Hall James Indie Show. We are honored this evening to have John Hall here, a legend, and he does so many things. I'm sitting down here talking to him, and I thought I knew a lot. I didn't know a lot. He keeps telling me more and more. And I want to just welcome you to the Indie Show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for accepting my invite.
Indeed.
It's a
Yes,
pleasure.
yes.
You look great. I like
Thank
that
you.
suit.
Thank you.
And what color is this suit? Because the light
This
is
is
making it.
more like like not a royal blue, but a lighter blue with a shine to it.
It looks good.
Yeah, it's one
It
of
really
my
looks good.
stage
One of the
outfits.
stage
Yes.
outfits? Well, it looks good on you.
Thank you.
Okay. And on my left side, I have Adrian Young.
Yes.
Hi, Adrian.
How are
And
you?
welcome to
Thank
the
you
Indie
so
Show.
much. It's good to be here.
Good to be here, too. I mean, it's good to see you. Okay. Now, we want to talk about your musical journey. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Now, as I said, this show is all about you.
Okay.
And we want to start from the beginning, which means how did it all come about? What age did you start? What made you want to go into music? Those kind of things. And we want
Okay.
our family and friends, our Facebook family and friends, to make sure that they understand what you went through to get where you are today.
Oh, that's
Okay.
a long journey.
Yeah, it's a long journey, but it's good because you're doing good, right?
Right, that's right.
Okay, so let's begin.
Okay. Well, when I was like 15 years old, I was going to Gillespie Junior High School. And I started, getting caught up with some of the wrong people. And my father sent me away to school, which was, what that school was called, St. Gabriel's Hall. The courts got involved and they said, well, you can't be truancy, not going to school, you know what I mean? Because I was always smart. I mean, I just started hanging with people in the neighborhood, and you just trying to do what your friends do. I mean, but in the long run, when I came back and graduated and everything, I came back home and made my father proud that I graduated.
Okay.
We had a block party one day, and I came out to the block party, seeing everybody on the corner howling and screaming. So I'm like, what's going on, right? So I run up the street, I'm about 15, 16 years old then. So I go up the street and I see these brothers in the middle of the street with these top hats on and black and red tuxedos. And I was saying to myself, I'm like, who that? Right? So my brother tapped me and said, that's our cousin right there. I said, who? What cousin is that? He said, that's Charles. That's we call him Bodie. And I said, well, who them guys? He said, they call it the Flamingo Dancers.
Oh,
So I said,
okay.
what?
Okay.
So I'm watching them, watching their skills, and I mean, they was bad. You know what I mean? And I'm standing there looking at them like saying, wow, these boys is good. So later on that day, Bodie came through the house. He asked my father, he said, well, I want him to get involved with our drill team. They had a drill team called the Challengers, jazz drill team. A brother by the name of Mr. Sam Wilson and his family owned the drill team. So I got involved with the drill team. I learned the steps, It was Will, Soup, Bill, Rob, Bodie, Little Fred, Cadillac. I remember these guys.
You
And I
remember
still
those names,
I still
right?
see these guys
Yeah.
today. You know what I
Okay.
mean? And they doing good. You know what I mean? They doing good. They're proud of me because I was one of the youngest members to come up under them.
Okay.
And when they stopped, it just clicked in my mind to say, take over. The name of the group, the Flamingo Dancers. You know what I mean? And then I had a good partner at that time with me, Mr. Dwight K. Smith, who does Jackie Wilson. You know what I mean? He's a very great entertainer.
With the mic.
Oh, with the mic and everything. He's awesome.
I
He's
remember
awesome.
him.
He's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's my
okay.
brother, and he's real
Okay.
awesome. And we work together, and we do casinos, and when people want us to come together, we come together because we still got the skills.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I took over the Flamingo Dancers, and one day I came home, and my father was like, you're making a lot of money now. So I was like, well, Dad, I ain't making that much. But he was like, for your age, you making more money than your brother did on his welfare check. So I said, okay. He said, I'll tell you what. He said, this is what we're going to do. He said, he told my oldest brother, Charles, he said, listen, you take the gas bill. He told my brother Warren, you go ahead and take the electric bill.
Oh,
he said,
giving
Johnny,
out bills.
since you always calling on the phone getting business, you take the
telephone
phone bill. I said, okay, no problem.
Okay.
So, that's how he split the bills up, and he
All
took
right.
care of the mortgage.
Okay.
So I was like, okay, Dad, we'll do that. You know what I mean? So one day he called me downstairs and he said, I need you to go get your dancers. So I said, what's going on, Dad? He said, just go get them for me and hurry up back. So we get in the car with my father. He take us out South Philly to J&A Catering. And we get in there, and I'm looking around, I'm seeing all these dancers, different type of dance, tap dancers. There's like white, black, Puerto Rican, nationality of color people. I'm looking at, I'm like, wow, what's going on here? So then I seen this white guy walk out, and I said, wait a minute. I know that face from somewhere. But I used to watch his show every Sunday morning, and it was the Al Albert Showcase.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So we go in there, and he called us up, and we did our thing. And before we knew it, he stopped us. He said, whoa, wait a minute. He said, yo, y'all get over there for a minute. So then his wife came over, Stella. She said, listen, we want y'all on TV next week. I said, for real? She was like, yes.
Good.
So doing the Al Albert Showcase was a blessing. We traveled with Al Albert with Channel 6.
How long did you do that?
Oh, wow. I started when I was 17. Al Albert, I was going with Al Albert from like age of 20 to like almost 25.
Oh,
we kept on doing this TV show. Then we wind up getting a call from, I'll never forget this brother's name because he made a difference in my life. Cal Bowser and the Bowser family that I think they was like councilmen for Philadelphia. Okay. And a gentleman by the name of Kofi Asante. Oh, they had the Black African American Parade used to come down Broad Street. So these two brothers got together, and Cal family had the Uptown Theater, which was turned into the New Tech. And he said they was looking for dancers to open up the New Tech Theater. So I'm coming down the aisle, sweeping down the aisle, and there was a guy named Mr. Hall, William Hall. I never forget him. He looked over at me, and he said, John? I said, yeah, how you doing, Mr. Hall? He said, yeah, how you doing? He said, what you doing here? I said, well, I'm working. Now I was the usher in the movie theater. So he looked at Cal. He said, Cal, do me a favor. He said, shut this down right now. So Cal was like, what you mean shut it down? We got these people come from New York and they auditioning. What are you talking about? He said, listen, we got the people we need. Shut this down. So Cal was like, okay, we'll get back with y'all. We'll call you, don't call us. You know what I mean? So I'm still sweeping the aisle. I'm minding my business, doing my work. And he called me and said, Mr. Hall, come here for a minute. So he told Cal, you know who this is? Cal said, yeah, he's one of my workers. He said, he's an usher here. He said, Cal, this is John Hall. Okay. He said, you ever heard of Flamingo Dancers? He said, no, I never heard of Flamingo Dancers. He said, man, they got a man right here that can do all the shows for you. So I'm standing with my broom, you know what I mean? And I'm looking at him. He up here, hyping me up. So I'm like, okay, So I said, Cal said, I'll tell you what. Well, how much you want to do the show? I said, $1,500. He said, man, $1,500, I won't even pay you that now. I said, but one thing ain't got nothing to do with the other. I said, if you want the show, I got to go get my guys and we'll be ready for the show. Okay. He said, well, I never saw y'all. I'm going on what Mr. William Hall says. And if he saw you, then I'm going to take his word. Okay. I said, I'll tell you what. I said, this is what we'll do. Since you got a problem with the money, I said, then we'll do this. Let us do the show. If the people don't like us, you don't pay us nothing. But if we turn it out, I get the money,
John, you took a
and
chance,
we will be. Oh, I already knew we was famous. We already done television. We done been in the newspapers. We was Club Harlem's opening act. So I already knew the people knew who the Flamingo Dancers were. For those that came to the show, it was fabulous. It was James Brown, James Brown, and the Dells. So I'm sitting backstage, and I'm reminiscing in my mind about being in my father's room.
James Brown and the Dells were there?
They were there. Okay. That was the show. That they was looking for a group to open up for. So I said, okay, all right. So he said, you know what, John, I like that. He said, you're a gambler. I said, yes. I said, but I don't gamble in real life. I said, but I'll take a chance with this one. I said, I know what I can do. He said, okay, all right, we're going to see. He said, and if you don't get that money. But if you do, all right. Now, we went around. This how clever we was. We knew everybody in the neighborhood. Okay. Right? I went around to Ray's funeral home. I grew up under Mr. Ray. I said, Mr. Ray, I need your white limousine. I just want to give you $20 to take me and the dancers around the corner and drop us off in front of the Uptown Theater. So he said, sure, I'll do that for you. I said, all right. You know, I got the dancers together. We were all in all white tux. You know what I mean? And we ride around there, and he stopped the car and let us out. And when Cal and them saw us coming in the door, he thought I had grown men with me. But I had little boys. I had one little boy that was like 8 years old. His name was Edison Lamont Fisher. We called him Turtle. Then we had Richard Wilmer, who was 12 years old. Then I had Nod, who was Damon Watson, who was 13 years old. And when they stepped out the limo, and I came out last, and we started walking in, the people was already like, yay, what's up? Right? You know, so we walking in, and Cal looking at us like, because he never seen us. So he like, this the dance group? He said, yeah. He said, number 4 of them. He said, Cal, don't worry about that. You watch and see what happens. So we go backstage, place filled up, and who was it? Matter of fact, it was, I can tell you exactly who the MC was. It was somebody from, what's his name? He passed away now. WDAS. He had the afro.
Afro?
He had the afro. He had a bag of chips out. Georgie Woods.
Oh, Georgie Woods.
Georgie Woods. Georgie Woods came out. Butterball was there because James Brown and their birthday is about the same time. So he came back there. He saw us perform before. He said, oh, y'all on the show? We said, yeah. You know, so we'll tell him, don't tell nobody, never watch what we do. So we had these little smoke bombs. Right? And we used to light them and put them on our shoes.
Okay.
Right? And we came out dancing on our toes with the smoke coming out our shoes.
Oh my
The
goodness,
people
John.
went crazy.
I know they did.
I mean, when they heard the name, they just started screaming. And Cal was like in shock. Like, what in the world? Who is these little guys? So we came out and turned that place out, man. And the people went crazy. He had us there for every show after that.
Oh, that was
Now, I'm going to tell you the blessing behind the show that I didn't know.
That's such a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, this was the blessing behind it. We backstage. Now, when we on the stage performing, I heard somebody scream. So I'm like looking up in the balcony, but I really can't see the person who it was. It was my sister and her husband. They came to see the James Brown show, not knowing that her little brother was going to come out on stage and perform.
That's
right.
Great.
Now James was sitting right there watching me, and he was like looking and saying, "Wow!" While we were performing, because he had to see when you backstage, you hear the crowd go off like that. You trying to figure what the world going on, right? So they all came to the side of the curtain and they was watching, you know. And he took me to the side. He said, "Man, let me tell you something." He said, "You're one of the best interpreters and impersonators I ever seen do me like that." You know, and
so
I said,
you
okay.
were doing James Brown.
Yeah, well, what it is, when we were doing our steps, we was dancing to a James Brown music.
Okay.
But I had a mic right there.
Okay.
And I just slid over to the mic and just started doing the James Brown while my dancers was dancing. And I was slinging the mic out, throwing it back, splitting, getting up, spinning around.
I love it.
And he was like shaking his head like, what? You know what I mean? You know, and I was young. And I still could do all that today. You know what I mean? I mean, God has blessed me to keep my strength, you know, and to be active. You know, when I went to the Apollo, and we're going to get to that, you know, but back with James Brown, he sat me down, and I said, well, James, I'm a Taurus like you a Taurus. He said, oh, so I know you.
So you knew a little bit about James
Yeah,
Brown.
so he was like, oh, I know you. I know how you think, you know. You know, he said, yeah, but watch some things that you do in life. He said, you know, because many things going to happen. Women going to come at you. People going to come up with money trying to get you and all. You know, he showed me a lot, you know. And we go back to our dressing room. So I hear this lady hollering, I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you. So I'm like looking like, okay. I'm pushing the little boys in front to get in the dressing room. So somehow this woman slid through, right? And she came back there and she said, can I ask y'all something? She said, what? I said, what you want us to do? She said, listen, I wrote this song and I need y'all to come to Jersey so that I'd like y'all to do this album. So I said, yeah, you know, I hear all kinds of things when you're in that business.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I said, well, okay, miss, you know what I mean? We'll do it. You know, I come over there. And lucky, I said yes.
Who was it?
Came over there, it was Broadway Eddie. He had all Broadway side up with them stores back in the day. And he said, I sat there in that audience and I watched y'all, and I seen how them people were screaming. He said, they the ones. They gonna be the ones to do this album. Now, we get over there. They said, well, Sigma Sound Studio. They talked to Kenny Gamble and them, and they said, well, we're gonna bring them up in there and we're gonna record this record. All the time, we don't know what the record's about. So we get to the Sigma Sound, and we listen to the tape, and it was a record dedicated to Michael Jackson.
Okay.
That she had written. Her name is Cherie Galloway. And Miss Cherie, you know, she looked after us, she cooked food, all that, take good care of us. And
she took care, like the Uptown artists. She used to cook and everything for them.
No, she used to cook regularly for us when we come over our house. Because she was the songwriter, you know, and we had Bobby Eli, who actually did the music for the album.
Okay.
Right? So we learned the parts and everything. And the record was called Let's Do the Michael Jackson. So Bobby Eli came to her house, did all the music. So we sat back and we did it, we recorded it. And then after that, we waited for about a month. The Jacksons was already on tour doing the Victory Tour because it was 1984. So we come back to our house. No, we go back to the studio. And we sitting in the studio, and Broadway Eddie came in with an old man. Right, he was leaning with a cane, coming in, sitting down in a chair. So we steady practicing, but he's laughing. So I'm like looking at him, like, what's going on, Eddie? We spinning the hats and all that, throwing them to each other. So I'm seeing the guy sit back in the chair watching. And I say, well, he said, well, y'all can stop now. I said, what's wrong? He said, y'all been approved. So I said, well, who we been approved by? He said, well, the gentleman that's sitting right here. And I said, okay, how you doing, sir? You know, and he bent down like this, took his hand, pulled the hair front of him, and came off with the mask, and it was Michael Jackson.
Oh, he had on the mask.
Yeah, on the mask. I was like, I'm standing there looking like, no, this got to be impossible. This can't be Michael Jackson standing there, right? So the little boys, they were shocked. They like,
love it.
Nah, that's my boy. When he started talking, we knew it was him. I said, wow. And he gave his approval to us to go under the name The Broadway Thrillers. And it was on Thriller Records. And it was called Let's Do the Michael Jackson.
Oh my God.
And it's still on YouTube today. Still on YouTube today. And all that came off of the tour that we did with James Brown for 6 months. And that was something that I'll never ever forget in my life. You know, when that actually took place. You know, and from there, we did the album and everything. And we recorded it. And, you know, we did shows, the Spectrum, and things like that.
Now, when you were doing it, when you did the shows, were you doing the shows as doing James Brown songs?
No,
at that time?
no.
You were doing your own
We were still
thing?
doing the Flamingo Dancers.
Oh, you were still dancing.
We were still dancing because we had our own record out at that time. So we had to travel. You know, we had the Michael Jackson jackets, the Godfather hats. You know, we
oh, you mixed it up.
Yeah, we mixed it up, and we did Schubert Theater. We did the Spectrum. We did the Civic Center. We did, matter of fact, what was his name? He had something for multiple dystrophy. Jerry Lewis, Telethon.
Okay.
And we did that. And our career just kept going and going and going.
That's
you know what I mean?
That's great.
And then I met Baby Dave from Baby Dave Promotions. At this time, they was like Sir Jam concerts and Electric Factory and concerts. You know, but Baby Dave was one of them gentlemen that he saw us, he fell in love with us immediately. And he had put us on a lot of concerts. Was on a concert with like, matter of fact, Fat Larry's band. I still remember the show. Fat Larry's band, Son, and Cameo.
Okay.
We was at 17th and Girard, inside of that center down there. You know, and they had it all blocked off, so all of us can come in and do the show. Right? And then we also did, at the Civic Center, the Gap Band. This is when Charlie Wilson with the Gap Band in them. You know, and, you know, we popped up here and there and there. So as the years went on, you know, it wound up being with like the Flamingo Dancers. We just started actually doing newspapers, interviews, and stuff like that. And then I got a call one day. Mr. Kenny Gamble got in contact with a brother named by Brother Sam Wilson. And a good friend of mine at that time was with Philly Cream.
Sam, I know.
Sam Wilson, you know Sam Wilson.
Yeah, okay. When you said his name the first time, I had to think.
Right, you know
yeah,
Sam Wilson.
Same. Okay.
Yeah,
right,
brother
okay.
Sam. You know what I
Right,
mean? And so one of my partners, Dwight, he was getting well known, doing the casinos and doing his thing, and went overseas and doing great. Still doing great today. But they needed someone to come in the group that had that same type of energy. Mm-hmm. So Miss Valerie Ford and Robert Dunston and them, they all sat down and they made a decision. They said, well, John is the closest to doing that. They partners anyway, so John know what to do.
Isn't that something?
And I loved it. Coming in there, it was a great experience. And at the time when I came in, we got the call from Motown, from a brother by the name of Tony Carmelo. He had his own label called TC Records, but he's a legend with Motown. And he wrote a song for us called Love Can't Turn Around. Now, Tony, I never knew the love that he had for me personally. I never knew that. Mm-hmm. He said, always, John, you okay, you this. He said, you're the entertainer of the group. You got to make sure you stay in shape, you eat good, and get your rest. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, Tony, all right. He was really hard on that, So he just recently passed at 90 years old.
Oh, wow.
And I got the shock of my life because his daughter's husband called me and said, John, Tony had written in his will that you come and host, his memorial.
Oh.
And he said, when you get here, I got something else I got to tell you. I said, okay. So I get there, we had some big artists there. From rock and roll, superstars. One of the brothers that wrote the song Dirty Dancing and the movie. Some people from Kool and the Gang. This man had touched many lives as far as writing songs for them, and just praise God that we was one of the people on the list, Philly Cream, to come up and do the song Love Can't Turn Around. And it took off. And that thing, I know we was flying here and there.
Philly Creams, they were doing great.
We were doing great.
They were doing good.
All the members of the group are doing well. Miss Valerie Ford.
Yeah.
I love her to death.
I've been in contact with her, hoping that we can connect together real soon.
Yes.
I'll
talk to her.
Can I interrupt you 1 minute?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because I want to do a couple things. I want to go in here and I want to say hello to some of these people. Look.
Okay.
Sandy, hi Sandy. Vi, how are you, Vi? Thanks for joining us, Matt and Jessica. And I can't pronounce his name, Rochester.
Oh, I know that.
Okay, do you know?
I know
hello, okay. I can't.
Right.
Okay, Kathy Briggs. Hello, Kathy. Angie Braids. And we have, is that it? And I thought I had Marcy Francis. Hi, Marcy. Now, Marcy and Valerie are good friends,
yes,
too.
She is.
Okay?
Right.
Okay.
Yes, she is.
And I just want to step away just a second, and I want to bring Adrian into our conversation.
Sure.
Okay? And I want you to tell, now, you're the assistant manager. You're John's assistant manager.
That's correct, yes.
Okay, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. My name is Adrienne Young. You can find me on Facebook at phillylove.com as well as Phillytown Groove.
Okay.
Facebook, of course, .com. First, I'd like to give an honor to some of the great artists we lost recently, Mr. James Ingram, phenomenal, Miss Nancy Wilson, as well as Aretha Franklin. I didn't want to go on without saying that. I just love those artists so much. But it's a pleasure again to be on your show.
Yes, it's a pleasure to have you.
My thing is, as I stated, was Phillytown Groove Promotions. I started as a promotion company. Then I'm now moving into production and artist management. Bossman is the first artist that I'm taking on. I'm the assistant manager, as I mentioned, and he has another main manager, Rhonda Supreme. She's on the radio in New Jersey, Free Agent Radio. But it's been a pleasure. We've been doing a lot of great things over the past few years, many shows. Phillytown Groove, I've been proud to be a sponsor on, like when Howard Hewitt came to town. And it's just been wonderful. But I'd like to do a lot of things, not just for the music, to bring the who's who in the music industry together, but also we're getting ready to do some shows to have some fundraising for some of the major children's organizations in Philadelphia, because we do need a lot more things to do. You know, we really need to get much more involved to make sure that the children, the youth, to make sure that they're staying busy. A lot of the after-school programs have been cut. You know, a lot of the extracurricular activity have been cut. Music, the elective programs, music, home economics, gym. So we want to bring that back. So any way that Phillytown Groove can collaborate with such great organizations and media companies, such as yours, such as your company, you know, Philly Live Radio, and all the other women that I know right now that are in the media and the radio. Hello to all of you. You know who you are. And it's just been great, and Phillytown Groove is definitely going to be involved with all of that. So it's not just about us and the music, it's about how can our music and how can our productions and our shows go right ahead and help the children, you know. Because remember, when we were growing up, children was learning music. So we're going to have a show where we're going to bring lots of musicians together and have one musician, each professional musician sponsor one child and teach them an instrument or sponsor them in some of the things that they're trying to do. We need music camp. So it's a lot of work, you know, a lot of work involved. And as we all know, Philadelphia is and always will be music capital, one of the music capitals of the world.
And one of the things that I do this indie show, but I have a 501c3.
Yes.
And that's called Simply Music Kids.
Right.
And we teach them.
Yes.
We teach them how to play instruments. We had a commercial shop, and we moved out that shop maybe 2 years ago now, and we're teaching at home.
About 2 years ago.
So we have a mechanism where we teach these kids how to play music. I just did a whole lot of videos just before I came here to send to my kids' teachers at their school.
Yes.
Because they're telling their teachers that they're playing piano or the guitar, and teachers want to hear it. So I spent early today, so maybe we can collaborate with some of it.
Definitely.
But another thing is, how did you become his manager? How did you meet?
Oh yes. Let's see. The first time I saw Bossman was I was singing, because part of my background was being a vocalist, background vocalist for several local artists. I used to sing with a jazz fusion group in Philadelphia. Then I started singing background for Bossman before I became his assistant manager. I was at Club 7165 in Chestnut Hill. Well, it's really Mount Airy before you get to Chestnut Hill. I was going out and he was coming in, and I saw this guy, and I'm like, what in the world? Shiny hat, shiny shoes.
What's going on,
He didn't have the teal blue suit on that time. I think he had the silver suit on. And I'm like, what in the world? I didn't know him. I just said, how are you? And he said, how you doing? And he had a whole entourage. Okay, a few months later, I'm at the African American Museum with some people from DAS and some other professional musicians in the Philly scene. And we were there to say hello to a lot of the dignitaries and other performers that were going to be there. It was the Martin Luther King's birthday weekend. And at that time, same thing, he had a whole entourage. He's coming down the ramp. I was about to go up. And I said, oh, it's him again. Bossman, what's shaking? He said, how you doing? And that's how we had a real conversation that time, because before, like I said, at 7165, we just laid eyes on each other. Yeah, so we got to have a real conversation this time, and we exchanged numbers, and I told him I was in the music business, and he told me he was in the music business, and he was doing this, that, and the other, and I said, oh, yeah, right, okay. Because, you know,
Here we go again.
I've met so many professional musicians and local artists, and as you know, in this business, you do have some real people, but you have a lot of phonies as well. So I said, okay, all right. So I took his business card, and I know I was flying to Tampa, Florida in a few weeks. I says, I'll chat with him later. I'll call him when I get back from Florida. So I called him back, and we struck up a conversation. I started going to his next few performances, and
She's leaving a big part of it out.
But I mean, is he hard to work with? Is he hard to work with?
Something happened in the middle?
Well, when she came back from Florida, I really forgot about her.
Oh
Right.
my God!
Because I be doing so much, right? So I get a phone call, and I'm hearing this small voice, and I'm like, she'll tell me where she remembered me from. So I'm like, okay, and how can I help you? And she said, well, I'd like you to meet me downtown. I want to take you to dinner.
Oh.
So I said, dinner? I said, well, dinner?
This is
I ain't
really
turned down no
juicy.
dinner. I ain't turned down no dinner. I'm coming down there.
It was for a business meeting / birthday
Okay.
bonus for him.
Right.
It was your birthday week.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
That's
And
Yeah.
that's just the way he took it, right?
Right. And we went from
Maggiano's.
Maggiano's, right? Maggiano, and
Maggiano's.
I'm in there. I'm trying to read the rest. Trying to read
That's
the
on 13.
read the
Yeah.
I'm trying to read the menu,
menu?
right? In my mind, I'm from North Philadelphia. I'm looking for chicken wings and steaks, or something. And I'm like, look at this menu, like, and she got a bowl of she had a bowl of these
Mussels?
mussels, and I'm like, what in the world kind of food is this, right?
Oh yeah, pasta.
So I said, well, I'm gonna
That
just get me some
was
pasta and some spaghetti, and so that's the only thing I really found on there. I said, well, okay, all right,
And that's
you
when
know.
I first learned I love champagne. So
Right.
yeah, boy, she sure orders that champagne. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think he was thinking of
That's
iced tea. Yeah, it was.
Well, I mean,
funny. It was
But then
funny.
after I had her do a few backgrounds, and I seen that she can sing, and I said, well, wow, I like to have you around more because I like to collaborate. Like my whole
She treats you
team,
to lunch.
yeah, my whole team is women. My whole surrounding now is number women because, it's nothing against the men, but I've been there, done that. You know what I mean? They get slick. You know what I mean? Think they can do this and do that. You know what I mean? But with the women, this is what I really found out. When it comes to promotion, I could send a man in there, and he'd come in with his head hanging back down.
Yeah.
I send a woman in there that looks beautiful, and she'd come out and say, we got the deal. I said, wow. I said, okay, I know how to do
love
this
it.
now.
Yeah.
With a smile.
Yeah, send the women in there, and when they come out, the deal is made. So, I mean, between Rhonda Supreme, was really Rhonda Fairwood Thorpe for Free Agent Radio. She working with Cam, who used to be with Power 99. They have a
okay.
studio and a radio station over in Jersey. And, and Miss Adrian, and, they was getting the job done so good. I said, well, taking slack off of me because I was doing all that. You know what I mean?
I
Booking
know, I
and,
understand.
going out,
I understand.
But I mean, the career that I have, and I mean, I thank God I've been blessed, throughout the years to maintain. I mean, sometimes I shock myself because, I'm 57, grade turn 58, and I still can hit a full split. I still can spin 8 times. I still can run up and down on my knees.
Well,
I mean,
how did you get that name? Is Bossman?
The Bossman?
Bossman. How did you
Let
get
me
the
tell you how that
Bossman?
came about.
Tell me
And
about
the
that.
first time I seen him perform, I was done. I was.
The-
Devastated?
Oh goodness, I was done.
Is he
I
that
couldn't believe
bad?
it. Yes, he's good.
I gotta see it.
And well, the Boss Man came about from the little guys of the Flamingo Dancers. They always say, "What we gonna do today, boss?" And I say, "Well, we're gonna go down to the Blue Horizon. Let's see what kind of cabaret is going on." Because I'm gonna tell you, back then, like in the early '80s, when we had them cabarets at Barbers Hall, Blue Horizon, the Philadelphia Hotel, the Philadelphia Athletic Club, the In-Towner, Wagner's Ballroom. I knew all the spots, right? And at that time, I was under Lady B. I mean, Lady B was there, and Mimi Brown from DAS, and my main man Steve Green from Breakwater. I was all up under them. And I mean, we used to go in one banquet hall, and we'd go in broke. Right, well, we cleaned the Board of Health coming up in there. We'd walk out with 700. And Blue Horizon had 3 ballrooms. So we just counted on up. We may get 400 out this room, 400 out that one, 600 out that one. We could have went home. Because they was no more than 8, 12, and 13 years old. I was like no more than 20. You know what I mean? So that kind of money at that time, then we start hitting all the ballrooms. And one night, we paid for a driver. I told the cab man, how much you make tonight? He said, well, I got to make at least $38. I said, I give you $50 for the whole night. You take me around. He said, for real? I said, I'm going to pay you in advance. Gave him his money. He said, man, get in the car. He drove us to all the bars, all the clubs. I said, you get in free. Whatever you want to drink is free on us.
Well, Bossman, how did you get the parents to agree to let you
Well,
take these kids?
when
How did you do
when
that?
after I taught them
That's hard to do.
and their mothers and them came, well, this what happened after I taught them, and then we started doing Club Harlem. One day I kept them all the way until Monday because they had an extra show, and we was on the show with New Edition,
Okay.
and they had Candy Girl out at that time. So we did Friday, Saturday, Sunday. No, we did Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. We had the concert down there. So when I came back, their parents was like, "Oh no, you can't have my child missing
Yeah.
school." You know, I said, "Well, I'm sorry, but they paid us." So I went and got everybody's envelopes. I'm giving the mothers the envelopes, and they take their child and they leave my house. So turn around, they say they came back, and they said, "You made a mistake." I said, "Well, what mistake I made?" They said, "Well, in this envelope, you gave me $750. Ain't that for all y'all?" I said, "No, each one of them got $750.
Oh,
They said, "How much you got?" I said, "I got 1,000." They was like, "Oh, you can come get my child anytime. You come get him. You come." She said, "You come get him." She said, "Just come."
He'll be
She
ready,
said, "John, just let us know when you're gonna be overnight. You know what I mean? So we can get this straightened out, call the school and everything. You know." So their mom was like, "Listen, you making money like that?" She said, "Just let us know in advance." You know what I mean? And these little boys, the Adidas sneaks, the Adidas track suits, they had it all. You know, and they was the stars of the neighborhood.
I guess they were.
You know,
Yeah.
and we start doing the Al Albert Showcase, dancing on air, city lights, and getting in the Philadelphia newspaper, the Enquirer. I mean, that part of the career, that was the growing part. Now, when I got in Philly Cream, and I'm coming into more of adulthood, and then after
We didn't meet when you were in Philly, because Philly Cream was at WMOT.
right, WMOT, right.
So we didn't meet there.
I met you there one time. I came down there with Art. Remember Art?
Art Austin?
Yes.
Oh,
Art.
well, I just asked you, did you know him about...
Yeah, Art.
Wait a minute, I just asked you, did you know him about 30 minutes ago, and you said no.
The conga player for Fat Larry's band.
Yeah.
Yeah, Art.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's
That's
my
the
brother's best friend.
Yeah, that's the one
Right.
that was talking about you.
Oh.
Told you were a dancer. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about, he watched me grow up.
Okay.
He watched me grow up, and you know, he seen me. He was like, "Wow, Johnny, you're amazing. You grew up, and I never thought you would come to be this big." You know what I mean?
Okay.
So, with the career going far like that, you know, then I remember I said, "You know what? I'm gonna take on the name the Bossman." But some people thought that I took the name because Philly Cream, when Dwight was in the group with Philly Cream, before I came in the group, it was a guy that wrote a song for Philly Cream called The Bossman. And Dwight was going to be the one who was singing it, right? You know, and I used to go down there and watch. They'd be practicing, you know, but it never actually went through. You know what I mean? But like I said, the name, The Boss, came from the Flamingo Dancers, from the little boys. So I figured to carry it on. But people said, "Why do you call yourself that?" So I said, "Well, I make the right decisions."
Okay.
I said, when you make the right decisions, people going to respect you for what you do and how you do
Okay.
it, you know? So, you know, being part of Baby Dave Productions, knew Baby Dave for like 45 years. And when I told him, I said, "Well, Baby Dave, you know, today I see all the R&B groups, you know, that's out, still out, and, you know, new members are in the groups and stuff. So I see they still trying to stay alive.
They're still trying to stay alive.
You know, so I
And
tell
you see
them,
that
right.
too,
Oh,
Adrian,
yeah,
right?
Right.
definitely,
Yeah.
definitely.
I take my hat off to them and I say, you know, I want to revive Philly Cream. You know, bring a group back together and actually do a
But
concert.
did you talk to Val? Okay, Val,
Val,
listen in.
Val,
Listen in.
listen, I love Val. I love Val. Val is a Scorpio,
Okay.
and Val is very strong
Yes.
when
yeah.
it comes to, you know, doing things right. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
okay.
And I gotta respect that. You know what I mean, from the time I've been in Philly Cream, Val showed me a whole lot. I mean, you know, she showed me the classy side of it. You know, how you supposed to carry yourself. You know, I mean, she showed me a lot. You know what I mean? And the other guys, you know, they want to show you all the wild stuff. You know, but let's go and get these girls over here. Yeah, we go. you know, but you know, she is fully cream.
Yeah.
She is fully cream, and you know, she's still singing, doing her thing, and you know, I love her to death.
And I
You
hope,
know,
like
that's
I
my
said,
sister.
I hope I can get her next month on
Yeah.
on the show.
I'm gonna talk to her.
Yeah.
Talk to her. We talk, you know, and I got some plans for her that she don't know about, but she gonna get a phone call real soon. You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to do something on a higher level. Right now, what's coming up?
Is this your new CD here?
Oh yes,
Okay.
yes.
And you want to tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, this is
Hold it up this way so they can
yes,
see.
this is the Bossman, and he is collaborating with his regular group Firestorm,
Right.
very awesome group out of Philadelphia as well. And he has also a song on the CD called "The Boss Man," and it's all that, and it's actually getting a lot of airplay on several stations right now, right? New
Right.
Jersey,
New
Atlantic
Jersey,
City
New
area,
York.
New York,
Mhm.
right? Philadelphia.
Very.
Yes, so we've been doing some other radio, TV interviews, primarily radio interviews right now. I know we do have a few TV interviews coming up, but yes, this is the new CD, and you can hit any one of us up to get a copy. Also, I think it is on CD
It's on
Baby.
it's on all the stations.
On social media.
Yes.
All social media,
Okay.
you know.
Yes.
But let me tell you about Firestorm. Firestorm, I take the name that I heard James Brown use, and I use it for Firestorm.
What name was that?
The baddest band in the land.
Okay.
That's what I call them. The baddest band in the land. You know, because I seen, and I was around James, and I seen how a group come from being at the bottom and coming straight to the top. Because, you know, in this game, we got a lot of haters.
Yeah.
We got a lot of haters, but I tell the haters,
No.
and I'm going to tell you something that Dougie Fresh told me this. I was sitting with him one day, and he said, John, boss, man, let me tell you something. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't doing nothing. He said, I got millions of them. I said, wow. He said, yeah. He said, but you know what? That
Yeah.
keeps me going. He said, that keeps me going. He said, just they be the ones that actually buy your stuff. So I said, wow, okay, you know. So I took that and I ran with it, you know. And, you know, my cousin, which is Russell Tompkins Jr.,
Okay. From
lead singer
Stylistics.
for Stylistics.
Okay.
Also, my first cousin, that's a little older than Russ, is Mars Gardner.
Okay.
Mars Gardner was the lead singer for the Dream Lovers.
Oh.
He had the song out, Darling, whoa.
And did they do
When we get
Yeah, okay,
married.
okay,
Yeah, that's my first cousin, love him to death. He's living out in California now, you know. And when they saw me grow up, and they seen me going forward, you know. And also my other family member, Steve Green,
And Steve Green,
Yeah,
you related
yeah,
to Steve?
yeah, Steve
so
is my man.
you came from a family of
of entertainers,
Okay.
of entertainers. You know what I mean? I've been around these people, grew up around them. You know what I mean? And you know, Steve himself, man, he's one of the people that inspired me. You know, he always told me, man, never stop. Don't never stop.
He's
Keep
a
going.
he's a
Keep
great
going.
man.
You know, yeah. He
He's
just put me
great.
on a show with him at the World Calf Live. You know what I mean? And when I came off, he said, "Boy, you still got it." He said, "You still got it." You know,
Let's
and
give a shout out to Steve
oh
Green
yeah,
from
that's my
Breakwater,
man. Yeah,
right?
Breakwater.
Yes,
Breakwater was
was-
a bad group.
Yes.
Awesome
Yeah,
show.
and we ready to do something with them Labor Day. We
Okay.
got them. We talking to Johnny Gill's people.
Okay.
You know, we doing some big things. And I'm gonna reveal one of the sources that I wasn't gonna reveal.
Go ahead, tell us.
You
about
know,
it. Go ahead.
I mean, God is good,
That is good.
and as long as you
All the
have
time.
faith and praise God the way you should praise Him,
Yes.
He's gonna open doors for you. Right now, it's in the works that I'm gonna be part of Live Nation. I'm gonna be doing a few of their concerts.
Really?
You know, it's being worked out. It's being worked out, and it's looking good. It's looking
Okay.
good. That's all I'm gonna say about that. It's looking
Well,
good.
I mean, that's that's great.
It's looking good.
Yeah.
It's looking good, and you know, Walter McDonald, thank you. That's all I gotta say.
Fine.
Walter McDonald, thank you.
Well, it's been a good musical journey because not only did you accomplish a
Right.
lot, you met so many influential
Oh, my
people.
God,
you know,
I'm telling you.
You know, and that's really great. So a lot of the entertainers don't meet those people like from day one. They
Right,
meet them as they
right,
travel through their journey.
Yes, this is
Right.
true.
But with you met them like through through day one, and you just
Yeah,
keep
just
traveling.
kept
and
going. I
you
mean,
keep going. Yeah.
I'm telling you about somebody I met that I was very curious about, and I come to find out that was his whole character for real. Morris Day.
Okay.
Morris Day is a cool cat. I mean,
Yes.
this man is
Yeah.
Mr. Cool for real. I thought it was all an act, but that's him. The laugh, the talk, it's him.
Okay.
When I did the concert with him, I was like saying, wow, and I'm thinking about the movie Purple Rain. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, wow, this guy really is in character with this. But it was really how he is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And Mars really don't even break a sweat on stage. You know what I mean? He get out there, he just so smooth with it. But it was a pleasure
Okay.
doing a show with them. Then I turned right back around. I did the lovely Miss Stephanie Mills.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I met her and seeing how short she was, and,
And how
seeing
that
that
voice she
voice
has.
came out of her. I
Yeah.
said,
I can't
"Woo!"
talk about short.
She
You
can
know,
sing. Yes. So powerful.
Miss Gladys Knight.
Yeah.
Tony Camello, the one I was telling about, I had to do his memorial show. Tony Camello was the music arranger for Gladys Knight, and actually wrote the song "Love." Love was it?
Which one?
Midnight Train to Georgia.
Yes.
He actually the producer and the
Right.
arranger and everything on that song.
Yes.
Tony Camello.
And going to his memorial,
Right.
I was really astounded to see how many songs he's written, how many artists he's worked with, and from what everyone described, he was just an all-around awesome guy, and he just was like just down to earth. And like I said, like Bossman said, also a lot of performers and people in the music industry was at his memorial in New Jersey.
Right.
I forgot which part of New Jersey.
Millbrook part of New
yes.
Jersey.
But it
See,
was
Tony,
just really good. I didn't know he did so much.
right? Tony Camello.
We don't know.
Right, we don't
Right.
know sometime until they pass.
Yeah, we don't know
Right.
that these people were so influential.
Mhm.
You know.
Right. I
Until
know
they're
more about
gone.
the whole
So
town.
so
Or the
what
Philly
we
International.
want to do
Yes.
is let them know.
Right.
Right, exactly.
Right. I even did concerts going back now. Sister Sledge.
Mm-hmm.
I never forget the guy that took us in the resorts at the Flamingo Dancers and said one of the acts fell out and I need y'all to go in and perform. And we performed at Resorts International. And we, it's a difference between our people and their people. How they react on stage.
Yes.
This audience was so quiet. I ain't hear a clap. I ain't hear nothing until we walked off stage. Then we heard the roar.
Organized.
Then we heard the whole roar. I said, "What the world?"
Organized.
I said, "They didn't make a sound while we was out there performing. They just steady watching it. It was like a black tie fan.
Cause they didn't miss nothing.
Yeah, they just watched. And then we went off stage. That's when you heard the claps and the roar and bring them back. I said, "Oh wow, we've been accepted."
Yes.
You know what I mean? And turn around, we walking off, and I seen this woman with black hair and sparkle dress on, and I looked, and it was Diana Ross.
Oh.
And I was like stunned, like just standing there. You like wow, is this really her? You couldn't get to her though,
Right.
Because she's behind her entourage with the bodyguards and all that.
Right.
But she's waiting to go on. And I was like, wow. I mean, I wanted to get a picture of something, but it was like, no, you gotta keep it moving. It was like, okay, but it was just a pleasure to know that close. You know what I mean? And besides, then after that, Steve Arrington, Johnny Taylor. Oh man, Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes.
Yes.
I'm talking about. When I seen these boys get down, far as the steps,
Yeah.
I was like, whoa, Jack Harold, come through this little stuff, come through the crowd. I said, okay, and I'll never forget how they used to come on, and it always took me out when I saw this. When they brought Harold Melvin them on, Harold used to stick his head through the curtain and look at the audience before they come out and then bust the curtain open and come right on out. I said, wow, that's phenomenal. I said, that's bad. But my main group was Blue Magic.
Oh,
Oh my God, Ted knows.
Yeah.
When I met Ted, I'll never forget this. Uptown Theater, right next door, it was a restaurant. And I'm in there, and I'm right in line with Ted. And he sat down and ate, and I sat down. When he said, excuse me, young man, I was trying to eat by myself. I said, I know who
Did
you
you
are.
move?
I said, I know who you are, Mr. Ted Mills. I need to talk to you. Right? So we started talking, and I said, yeah, I remember when you used to go to Temple University. you know. And I remember how Blue Magic formed the whole group, where they put Ted into the group with the Sawyer brothers and Keith from New York, you know. So I mean, they was phenomenal. Far as steps, you know, the vocals, you know. And then when I got into the funk, that's when I ran into your late husband, Fat Larry.
Yeah.
I was like,
He was all
whoa,
into
the
that
funk.
funk,
I
right?
said, look how we into that funk, boy.
But you know, he used to be a dancer at Blue Magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was, but they were called the Magic of the Blue at that time.
Right.
Blue,
The
right.
They had an
Magic of the
album
Blue.
like that too,
Magic of the
Blue.
And then they went into Fat Larry.
Right.
Yeah. So it's all just a collaboration of everybody together.
Yeah. Because the name Philly Cream came from Fat Larry's band.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we were
Right.
doing Philly Cream. We were doing it. So Alan and them developed this group
Alan
called Philly
Rubin.
Cream. Yeah.
Oh, I
Alan
remember
and
him
Steve.
so good.
And you know when I remember that, you know when I first realized that Philly music was something to really behold and be proud of. But I'm born in North Philly, but I grew up in Brooklyn. And honey, we couldn't wait to go. It's a place in Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn, for many years, it was called the RKO Albee. And I know the Delphonics, Stylistics, all of them know what I'm talking about if they're listening. Oh my goodness, the groups used to come there. We used to lose our minds. And like you said, I used to just be there and look like, oh my gosh, look at the colors, look at the suits they're wearing, look at the steps. Oh my goodness, you know. So I just knew then that Philly was the good music scene. And then my background, singing since I was 10, started with the whole gospel scene first, of course. And then getting older, started singing with other people in New York. And then I've always been connected to people in the music business, whether they were producers or promoters or whatever. But I wasn't in myself yet. Then I came to Philly and I started promoting for other people. I'm like, what am I promoting for them for? I got to start promoting for myself.
Yeah.
But one thing I'll say about Bossman is that he, one thing that I noticed about him, well, a few things. He's very humble. He's for real. He's all about the business. He has quite a sense of humor.
And he works hard.
He works hard.
He works
Even though he
real
has a sense of humor, he doesn't really play around. He really doesn't take the nonsense from some people in this business. Because as you know, like I said before, some people in this business can be pretty shady. But you do have a lot of real people in this business. And one thing I love about Bossman is that all the artists that, you know, he has put on shows over the last 2 or 3 years. If he says he's going to put them on a show, a lot of up-and-coming artists, just like
Giving them a
yeah,
break.
just like artists I recommend.
Mhm,
For
giving them a break.
Kashina, you know, Kashina, this one, that one, out of the Philly, Jersey scene. And if he says he's going to put them on, he puts them on. If he says they're going to get paid, they get paid. And if it's been times where the money wasn't right or they didn't get paid, it's because whoever was supposed to pay Bossman didn't pay him.
I understand that.
But
I
other than
understand
that, if he says they're going to be
Yeah.
on, they're going to
Yeah.
get paid, they get paid. And I like that because he's not only looking out for himself, but he's
a
looking
good
out for
business. Like he said, he's the
Right.
boss.
the new artist.
Yeah.
Right. You got to
Yeah.
carry, if you're going to carry
Right.
the name, you have to carry the character that goes with
And
it.
the responsibility.
And responsibility and everything. And I'm working very close with the Veterans Organization now, ACES Museum up in Germantown Avenue, Miss Dr. Hankins. She has an organization where every year we do something for the veterans. We feed them, we give them rewards, we put live entertainment, and we do this in Vernon Park. And sometimes we block Germantown Avenue off and we do it in the middle of the street, put the Army provide us with the tents and everything.
Wow,
And what
that's
she
good.
needs
Yes.
is people to come out in that area and really support
Okay,
what
so
we're
let's
doing.
let's make an announcement now.
Yeah.
Let's go on and talk about that and
Yeah.
make this announcement.
Yeah, because that's something that we need to do as a people to come together and support our veterans. And most of the younger people today, you don't have an idea or a clue. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we have to keep educating ourselves, you know, about what our forefathers did for us so that we could be here today surviving to do these things. But I say this to most of the young ones today. The reason why I do what I do when I try to help you, because I know where you're trying to get to. I know what you're
Yes,
going through.
yes.
I've been through the
Yes.
streets of Philadelphia. I've been through the bars. Some of the bars are taken away. We used to perform at cabaret halls. Philadelphia had many cabaret halls. We don't even have that no more.
That's right.
You know, we had
Right.
TV shows that we used to
talking
go on and perform.
Chitlin
You
Circus.
know, and I look back at today and I laugh at a lot of the promoters because you think I'm new. I'm not new to this. You know, I've been around since I was 17 years old. I've been under Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff, Ronald Bell. I've been under Butch Ingram. I've been under Dexter Wanzel. I've been under Miss Patti LaBelle. I've been under Tony Camello. And overall, over all that umbrella, there was Mr. Sam Wilson. And I'm telling you, when it came down to something that we had that y'all don't have, and we had artist development. You had to have artist development before you can even get onto the stage. You know, and I want to thank Miss Valerie Ford for actually teaching me artist development.
Yes,
you know what I mean? Because I mean, she used to wake me up in the morning and have me doing steps. You know, she's like, no, you got to get it like this. And everything that we did as a group was sharp. I mean, it wasn't like if you moved that right hand, my right hand was right there with you. You know what I mean? And that's how we believe that it had to be. And that's artist development. You have to develop your show to where you could come to somebody and say, I want $4,000. I want $5,000. You know, but in these day and time, you have to work with the promoter. That's why now I'm on both sides of the fence. Yes, I'm your entertainer, you know, and I say like Dougie Fresh say, I'm the world's greatest entertainer. And I'll say that because of this, right? It is not to be big head or anything, but this is what God has guided me to do. I mean, this is my life. I mean, I'm talking about Al Albert Showcase, City Lights, Dancing on Air, Do You Think You Can Dance, the Apollo Theater, to America's Got Talent. What's next?
Okay.
What's next? I mean, do I got to keep proving myself to Platinum Entertainment to let them know that the Bossman and the Firestorm Band, we even went so far to take our own money. Dennis Scroll took his own money and invested it into the group and came up with the idea, wrote the songs, got the music pressed up. Praise be to God, we getting the music out there. We need new love music. We need new R&B music. The hip hop, I love y'all, but some of y'all go a little too far. You can't be calling the women the B's and the H's. You know, you got to have that respect. You know, we still want to get into the red light parties when we used to have them in the basement, when we used to slow dance. You know, we don't got that no more. Yeah, or blue or yellow. You know what I mean? Whichever light you prefer, you know. But this career, and like I tell a lot of them, you can call me anytime. Y'all know I put my number up there.
Do you have an email?
Yes.
Yeah, let's get the email.
The Bossman Hall at yahoo.com.
Okay.
All lowercase levels.
How about, now I read somewhere that you're going to be somewhere May for Mother's Day. Let's talk about that.
Well, I'm going to back you up.
Okay.
Mother's Day show is going to be fantastic.
Okay.
But next Friday, Baby Day production, along with myself, because that's my partner, and I love him to death. Love you, Dave. I'm telling you, we got a Valentine weekend lovers jam.
Okay.
For the women. And let me tell you something. On this show, we got tribute to the legends. I mean, Jack Smith, Johnny Smalls in them. Then we got one of the best female comedians is Miss Darkchild.
Yeah.
She's going to be there. And we just brought in the R&B soul sensation, Shushan. And Shushan is also one of the background singers for Kool and the Gang. Just keep them right, don't know who he is. We got Miss Marsha T. Miss Marsha T, when she sings, she's going to put you in the memory of Miss Tina Marie. Mm-hmm. And we got a brother coming in from Vegas that's doing the legendary Rick James. Okay, and then we have Miss Kate Kent. Okay, doing her R&B station of different artists that she chose to do.
Well, this is the 15th.
This is the 15th, next Friday.
Next Friday.
And then we have Zakia. Zakia is a brand new artist coming out. She has music. She has great personality, and she's a great singer. And believe me, y'all gonna love this young lady, because right now we're trying to break in the industry and bring in the young entertainers, you know, that actually have the courage to get up there and perform. And first of all, you got to love what you do. You know, because me, myself, I love performing. And let me say this to the people, because many people have misunderstood something. The Bossman, I just don't do James Brown. That's why I said you got to see me and the band Firestorm. We have a whole repertoire of funk, R&B, and then we take you into a James Brown explosion. See,
Okay.
me being around James Brown, did that traveling with him, listen to what the Godfather Soul had to tell me. You know, when I go on stage, I come to be that person. I'm not a James Brown personator, but I want to keep his music
You do his
alive.
music. You keep his
I want to
music
keep
alive.
that legacy alive, because I feel as though that, you know, he was one of the great. I mean, really great. If you just know the struggle that this man came through from living in the woods in a shack and coming through the hard times. See, when James came through, we had black water fountains, white water fountains. It was segregated. So we had, you know, he broke them barriers. And like I said, as a child growing up in my father's house, listening to his music and coming to be blessed to meet this man was amazing. And I'll tell you the truth, as a grown man, at that time I was like in my 20s, I cried when I met this man. And right in front of him. I ain't hold no tears back. I cried when I met him and I hugged him. And I said, it's a blessing to meet you in person. And when I got a chance, he said, you know what, young man,
Shout out to James.
I
Brown.
definitely
Yeah,
want to
good
take
shout
you
out
with
to
me on
James
tour.
Brown, for sure.
Great entertainment.
Okay.
Great entertainment. You know?
Let's announce this one more time. Doors open at 7 p.m. until 1.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
Treasure's
Banquet Hall.
At 5547 Germantown Avenue.
Yes.
Okay. And that's Friday, February 15th.
Mm-hmm.
Showtime, 8 o'clock p.m.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we want you to be there.
Yes,
Is
indeed.
that right?
And the host of this show is my manager, Ms. Rhonda Supreme from Free Agent Radio.
Now let's go on to Mother's Day. Let's get
The Mother's Day show. Listen, the Mother's Day show is going to be fantastic, featuring a Tramps review, featuring Mr. Jimmy Lee. Me and Miss Jimmy Lee go way back. Jimmy Lee is one of the original members of Fat Larry's band. You know, that's how far we go back. So back in that time, I was about, 13 or 14 years old? See how sharp my memory is? I still remember very well. Same way I remember this woman here. You know?
Okay.
You know, but the Mother's Day show, tribute to the Champs. We also have on this show Reminisce. Reminisce is coming through. We got great comedian coming in, Kenny Ray Walker. We grew up together. Kenny is a very fantastic comedian that's going to be on the show. And there's going to be many more superstars that I can't tell you right now.
Okay.
But they're coming in, and they're going to do something very, very,
And
very
that's for
fantastic.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day. And we're going to be at Regal's Ballroom. First time Regal's Ballroom ever had an R&B concert inside.
Oh my God, that's going to be great.
I tell you, I'm working with one of the best people in the business right now, Baby Dave Productions. I mean, like I said, Baby Dave go all the way back to Sir Jam concerts, Electric Factory concerts. These are the people that brung in Earth, Wind and Fire,
Oh,
Parliament
boy.
Funkadelics, the Gap Band, Slave. I mean, back then, this man that's come out of retirement because the boss man called him and was complaining to him about, we need these shows back. And Baby Dave said, give me a week to think about it.
Okay.
And within a week, he called me and said, you want to do it together? I said, sure, why not? He said, okay, come on in. And we did some investments together. And hey, here we come.
Well, I want to thank you for keeping our music alive. Okay?
You're very welcome.
Because this is important
Yes.
that we do that.
Mhm.
Okay? And I want to thank you, Adrian,
Oh, yeah.
for
it was my
supporting,
pleasure. Yes,
for
my
supporting John, and you're making a difference in
pleasure.
his career.
Yes.
And
Yes, she
that's
is.
that's good.
Yes, she
Collaboration, putting things together, brainstorming,
Oh, definitely.
it makes a difference.
Yes, it was my
That's
pleasure
right.
to be on your show today.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I just want to say to Facebook family and friends, thank you for joining in. We had
Thank you, everybody.
John Hall on our program today, and he is magnificent, and he knows everybody, and his musical journey is just beginning, as far as I can
Yes,
hear.
yes,
He's
yes.
still traveling the road, and you're going to be hearing a lot from him.
Let me tell
Go
you
ahead.
something. They're going to give me a reward.
Oh, okay.
Miss Angela Burton, I love you to death. She was one of the opening acts for Club Harlem. She done went overseas
Okay.
to 30 different countries and performed for the soldiers. They're giving me a reward February the 22nd at Chelsea's in Atlantic City.
No, that's, you told me, I'm not going to say it, but that you
Uh-huh.
told me somebody else is going to be there and it's getting an award.
Oh,
too.
also,
and I want to get there because I don't want him to know I'm coming.
Bill Ingram, Bobby Eli, somebody great. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna name all of them. Somebody great.
Okay.
Go to be there. And, you know, I just praise God and thank God that some of the eyes are opening up and they realize that, you know, I'm here to stay.
Okay.
I'm here to stay. Me, Valerie Ford, Damon Williams, Dwight Smith, we ain't going nowhere.
Philly Cream.
Philly Cream.
Okay.
We ain't going nowhere. We always gonna be Philly
Okay.
Cream. But we might be doing
Yes,
our own thing,
yes.
but we still Philly Cream.
And next week, February 14th, Valentine's Day, our guest is going to be Robert Gilmore. He's a recording artist. He plays guitar. He has a new CD out. And he will be here next week, and we will travel with Robert through his musical journey. And once again, we want to say thank you for joining us on the show. And stay tuned and follow us and support our artists. We love you, Facebook fans and
Yes.
fans. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Listen to the